I come from a long line of third marriages, though I've only gotten to my second one so far. One of the least promising was my mother's. After 20 years with Dad, she married a guy who possessed only one box of belongings and made t-shirts. We called him the jailbird. Where else could he have learned silk screening, hissed my sister. For the next several years, Mom was parasite-free. But then we heard rumors that an aunt had set her up with someone she met through her occasional hobby of drunk driving. This guy owned a house, supposedly. He owned his own business, supposedly. In another town, of course. In November, he visited Mom for 2 weeks, and at the end of it, presented her with one of those velvet roses that pop open to reveal a diamond ring, supposedly. My mom quit her job, and they rushed into a December wedding. I wasn't there to witness this calamity, but my mother sent pictures of herself in a wedding gown so deluxe, she looked like she was submerged in soap bubbles. Next to her stood a skinny, gray-faced man in a tux, Riney. He looks like a cadaver, I told my sister who attended. He just had a heart attack and a stroke, she said. How was the wedding, I asked. Very nice, she said. He paid for the whole thing, too. He really seems to like Mom. I hope he can pay off the wedding before he dies, I said cheerfully. Oh well, at least Mom finally got a fancy wedding. When I visited the newlyweds, they showed me around the house Riney really did own. The gruesome traps they set for rabbits, the jars of pickles they canned together, the cookies they decorated together, the quilts they sewed together. Riney whirred away on the sewing machine while Mom cut and embroidered. In the backyard, under the empty beer cans hanging from a board labeled Polish wind chimes, Mom put her arm around Riney's shoulder and bragged, "We've never had an argument." Never an argument, he agreed. 5 years passed. Still, they acted like honeymooners. 10, still no arguments. 15, way more than we expected from a cadaver. But Riney's strokes returned. For months at a time, he was in the hospital or a nursing facility. When he was well enough to be home, I visited. Lying on their couch at night, I heard tender murmurs from the double bed, Mom's encouraging voice, the squeak of the wheelchair as she helped him into it, then pushed him down the hall, squeaking and maneuvering through the door, shifted him onto the commode, then back onto the wheelchair, down the hall, and helped him back into bed. One more trip to empty his potty in the toilet. She did this twice nightly with no complaint. The next day, we all took a walk around the block, she pushing his wheelchair, to see the red and yellow leaves, the squirrels stealing grapes, the puddles after a storm. We drank Red Dog beer and watched gray-haired people polka on TV. When Riney returned to the hospital, Mom lay beside him on his hospital bed, kissed him, and went home to get some rest. While she was gone, he did the one thing he had to do without her.